Welcome to Millennials Talk That Ish. As y'all know, I am Monet.
And I'm Nia.
And today's topic is, should you or can you give advice to people who have kids if you don't have kids?
Right.
Nia, how you feel about it?
Like, I know I ain't got no kids. And honestly, I feel like sometimes people gonna get mad at this. Please get mad at me. I don't really care. Sometimes I feel like I am more qualified to tell you about yourself raising kids than some parents are.
Okay.
I say this because I did raise 5 of them from birth. Mm-hmm. Yes, right under my fucking titty. I was still going to school, still doing everything. But what I noticed with a lot of people who I see make these statements like, oh, people with no kids don't tell me about my kid. Y'all talk from trauma. Mm-hmm. Right? Y'all don't respond in healthy manners, and y'all talk to your kids like somebody out in the street. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, that's not how it's gonna work. Yelling and screaming and calling your kid the B word or the black B. I see how y'all do that, and it's not good. It's not good. It's not good, and it makes the child shut down. Mm-hmm. And then y'all say things like, "Oh, black kids don't shoot up school and stuff like that." Little do y'all know, black children are suffering from PTSD because their mamas and daddies told them, "Oh, you can't cry and suck it up and you need to do this and you need to do that." And how you talk to your kids, I'm just like, yeah, let's try a different approach. But then you get offended because I said that. I'm from the outside looking in, so I can see things that you don't see. Mm-hmm. I can see their body language. I can see your body language. You running up on your daughter like you gonna punch her in the face like she's some chick down the street that you just found out had sex with your man. Mm-hmm. No, it's not cool. It's not cool. Also, sometimes people could tell you certain things depending on their profession. Social workers, case managers, teachers, nurses. They can teach you, right? Yeah, nannies. They can teach you things. Some of these people have been in these professions longer than you've been alive. Yeah. Let's really be honest. So sometimes and I always tell everybody this, stop listening with defensive ears. Mm-hmm. Listen and comprehend. Stop listening to answer something. Just listen. And then think about it, process it. And it's not saying that you have to take it, but think about it. Well, why would this person even, suggest that? Why would they give me that advice? What is And I'm not talking about no negative advice for you little hood chicken heads who are like, oh no, just take your baby to the mother house and girl, I'm talking about people
legit advice.
Yes, like your kid, you noticing that their behavior is changing, and you just feel like, oh, they being lazy and they not want to clean up. But little do you know, the whole time they being bullied in school, they being harassed on the internet, and you don't know anything about your child because you too busy, making them be embarrassed. Mm-hmm. One thing I remember I used to say growing up is when I did something, I hated when they used to go and call the whole family. I hated that with a passion. That shit irked my nerves.
Like, why everybody gotta know?
Why everybody? And now when I go to people's houses, now everybody's yelling at me. I don't need 30 or 40 of y'all chastising me when I already got it already. From my parents or my grandparents or whoever, my aunts. Like, I don't need to hear that. And now that makes them embarrassed. Especially for a big situation. If your child committed suicide or was about to commit suicide, don't go around and tell the whole family, oh yeah, she tried to kill herself. Like, her life is so hard. Like, all she got to do is go to school. Do you understand what children, especially these children coming up now, are going through? Internet bullying is way different now from what it was when I was growing up. And I'm not saying how they used to bully me, I didn't feel like, oh my God. No, but these kids now,
these kids are different. They more into everything.
Yeah, word. They Photoshop stuff. They will make it look like you. And I was just telling my nail tech, like, it was a whole little girl who killed herself because they Photoshopped her like a porn scene and spread it all around and made it look like,
this little girl was having
sex, and doing porn. She killed herself. Because imagine going to school and being harassed and being called a slut in a hole and people could get fake numbers. Mm-hmm. Like, so stop being so quick to be defensive.
Listen to what people are telling you.
Just listen.
Whether they have kids or not. I'm sorry. I feel like a nanny who has no kids can tell me more than somebody who only been a mother for a year.
Right. Seriously.
And then just people are taught different.
That's true.
My mom raised me differently than your mom raised you.
Exactly.
So the way that my mom might have raised me, something might be a little wrong. Right. Not saying that it is, but hey, something she taught me or something that was done could have been wrong. And somebody could be like, oh, and now I'm raising Amir like that, so somebody could be like, wait, that's not how it should be.
Right, did you ever think about trying it this way?
Yeah, and it's okay.
Like beatings. As you can see, millennials are not too into whoopings.
Mm-hmm.
We are more talking to our children first.
Yep.
Figuring out what's going on with you. Why do you have an attitude? Why are you being so, so snippy with me? What's going on? And then you might actually start a conversation with your child.
Yep. You
might actually get a child who's not sneaky. You might. You should try it. You might. You might get a child who knows how to communicate. Because even to this day, I don't know how to properly communicate.
And that sucks because my 7-year-old can tell me when he needs a moment.
Exactly.
Because of the way that I am towards him. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I don't yell at him. Of course I yell at him.
Right.
I do certain things. But my child can actually say he's never gotten hit with a belt.
Right.
My child can say...
A lot of us can say that.
My child is able to vocalize when he needs to take a second to himself. And that is a beautiful thing because I was not able to do that until I was an adult.
I wasn't even allowed to have a second. A second for what? Because you're getting on my nerves.
Right.
I need some space.
And I give it to him because I know how I feel when nobody gives me my space. So I give him his moment. But the fact that my 7-year-old can vocalize that, and there's some 30-year-olds who can't, that is a trauma, and it's bad. And it's due to because our older generation, you're not going to tell me nothing about my child. And even our generation, you're not going to tell me nothing about my child, but maybe somebody needs to.
Somebody needs to tell you something about your child.
Whether they have a child or not.
And let's really be honest, some of your kids are completely out of control.
Yes.
Some of your kids lack manners. Oh my God. Like, I'll just be like, oh, y'all know I fight kids, right? Like, who is raising you? Like, anybody who was raised by me, go to people's house, they know you take off your shoes when you come in the door unless the people say otherwise. You don't go and jump on nobody's freaking couch. You don't just go in nobody's refrigerator. Like, it's a certain manner, and some of y'all kids are just not like that. Some of y'all kids are just unruly, and they come in, and that's why I don't like kids in my house. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't like nobody kids except her son and Tasha kids in my house and the people I raise, because I just don't have the time for unruly children. Children with smart mouths, and that's also a thing too. They talk to y'all crazy, so they feel like they don't talk to me crazy. I raised mine like a little bit military. I didn't really believe in hitting them, but when they did misbehave, you gonna do war planks.
You gonna do something.
You gonna do war planks, and then when you're finished with that, I guess who's doing a book report.
And she loves that.
Because those are the things. Now, not only if you seem like it's a punishment, but then you realize, this is pretty cool. They didn't know they was into Harry Potter until guess what? Who made them read? Even
like the whole how back then, it takes a village to raise a kid. We're not like that no more, and it sucks. But I experienced something this past week, and I took Amir to see his family. He met his cousins for the first time.
Right.
And his mother, in the South, you have titles. Yeah. If that is your auntie, that's what you gonna call them.
Yes.
That's your you call them by their titles.
That's it.
So even though me and Amir's father isn't together, his nephew and his niece were told to call me auntie. Because that's what it is, yeah. So his nephew was jumping on the bed. I was like, no. He looked at me and was like, I'm not messing it up. Shrugged his shoulder and continued. So I was like, okay, this is not my kid.
Right.
I went in the living room to his grandmother and his mother. I was like, y'all allowed jumping on the bed?
Because
even my
especially
son,
a made bed,
right? And it was made. My son, he has a bouncy, he likes to bounce, but down there he knows better.
Right.
We don't jump in the beds. This ain't your bed.
Right. He know what to do in his house or my house, versus when he's in somewhere, a new location or whatever the case may be. What I allow, other people may not allow, and he knows that.
So his mother went in there and said something to him and made him come out and apologize to me because she was like, did an adult tell you to stop?
Right.
So what are you doing? Made him apologize and say exactly what it was for.
Exactly.
And the little boy, Amir and him is the same age. Smart little boy, intelligent little boy. I was like, listen, I wasn't mad at you and I didn't mean to get you in trouble, but you didn't listen to me. And he was like, no, I understand.
Right.
We was able to have a conversation.
Right.
We was able to talk about it. It doesn't always have to be yelling, screaming, hitting. It doesn't always have to be that. And then when people tell y'all that, oh, don't tell me how to raise my kid. You look what it did to you.
Right. You don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to communicate. And we all learn how to communicate in different ways. I am not a confrontational person. Mm-hmm. So when I feel like I'm about to start my crap, I shut down. Now, instead of communicating, oh yeah, I didn't like when you did this, it gives me anxiety to say how I feel. So I shut down. That is not healthy.
Because when you used to say it, you used to get in trouble for saying
exactly, but you get chastised. I don't look people in the eye when I talk to them. Mind you, as a therapist, I tell my clients, look me in the eye. Mind you, I tell them communicate, but I can't do it myself. So why can't y'all instill that in your kids? Give y'all kids a chance to be healthy. Stop passing on your traumas to these children, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're passing on your traumas and your ignorance to these kids, and then you're putting them out in the world with people like me.
Right, and then don't want nobody to say nothing to you.
And I look 12, so I'll beat your kid ass. Go get your mama, go get whoever, go get your granny, whoever. Because you putting these little brats out into the world, and then teachers got to deal with them. And then y'all don't want to believe the teachers when I'm telling you that your kid is in here telling me to shut the hell up. But you like, well, not my kid. I
hate that about some parents.
And then I look at you and I'm like, oh, I see where he get it from. You tell them, oh, stop crying. Stop. They allowed to cry. I get it when you say stop if they like wailing and screaming. Because breathe, baby. Don't have an anxiety attack. Don't have a panic attack. But they allowed to express their emotion.
Stand that. You hear me? Because my dad used to do it to me. I would cry. And everybody knows I am an emotional person.
Right.
I am sensitive. If I am having an anxiety attack, I'm going to cry. Especially as a child. I didn't know how to deal with it. So it was just tears. I couldn't stand when my father used to tell me stop crying.
Yes.
Hated. What you crying for? You too old to be crying. Leave me alone. Let me get this out.
Please. Because I can't tell you what's wrong. So this is how I'm reacting. So I can't cry either?
Yep. To the point, maybe a few weeks ago, because that's just how my dad is, so he does it to Amir. A few weeks ago, it was a week that we had to, that we didn't do the show. Right. Amir told me he didn't want to stay with him because he yells at him when he cries. Right. So I had to talk to my dad. Right. Because I knew how it felt. Right. And I had to talk to him because I'm like, wait. My child is vocalizing this. He knows what is bothering him. I have to do something about this because I don't like it anyway.
Because I didn't like it growing up.
Yeah, and my dad, he understood. Right. He didn't come, but it's just like certain things that why are we passing on those traumas? Why are we not fixing them? Right. For our kids, we know how we felt. Right. Why are we passing that on?
And it's like a lot of millennials, we're either super open with parenting or like closed, like the older generation. It's like we're split. It's sometimes I see parents, I'm like, oh my God, look at them, they're so healthy. And then others, I'm like,
And it's so disgusting. It's like, why? You can have a little bit of parenting from like the olden days, like how you can do that,
like manners and respect and stuff.
Yeah. Right. But then the unhealthy shit, why are you not fixing it or getting the help that is needed? Why? Because y'all don't want nobody to tell y'all that y'all doing.
But you would want me to take your kid when you go out. You want me to take that.
But I can't tell you nothing about them.
But I can't say nothing to your kid when they're being rude or disrespectful, or when you're being rude or disrespectful. I can't say nothing. When you're being rude to that kid, you feel like I'm supposed to stand there and let you verbally abuse that kid. No, go and take that outside my house. Yep. Or go do that somewhere else, or do that around me. I hate it growing up, and I used to hear like somebody call a kid like a black bitch or some shit like that. Like I hated hearing stuff like that.
Why are you even talking like that to your kid?
Talk to your child like that. With your little monkey ass.
What? Oh. I don't even curse when speaking to my kid, whether I'm cursing at him or not. There's no curse words that will be said when talking to him.
Yes, like why do y'all gotta belittle y'all kid while y'all trying to discipline them? Why? Why do you feel like you need to break your child's spirit down? Why? No, really, why? I need to know an answer why. Because you were broken down. Because you still feel broken down. So you want to take it out on a person who has less power than you. It's a power struggle.
Yep.
But that's a little human you're raising, and they have feelings just like you have feelings. So who's to say that their feelings are not valid because, what, they don't have any power?
Yeah, that's how people feel. But I'm the parent, and that's
right.
it. Which
but
is
then
not
you
it.
feel like that growing up. Right? You couldn't say anything because you didn't have any power and you was a child and you were told to what? Stay in a child's place. Right. Oh, and you didn't like it, right? Sounds familiar.
Very. But people don't look at it like that. They're just like, this is just how it's supposed to be. No.
Right. You think I want to tell you how to raise your child? No, I don't. I don't.
At all.
I don't want to tell you. I don't have kids of my own because I'm dealing with my own trauma. So why would I want to bring a little person in the world when I'm like, damn, I don't even think I could deal with that.
But even that, like the whole having their kids around somebody but don't want them to say nothing, I feel like that's crazy. I do not leave my kid with anybody if I know I have a problem with them saying stuff to him.
Right.
I am very specific on who I leave my child with.
Yes.
And it's because these are the people who can possibly hit him.
Right.
They can yell at him.
Right.
They can discipline him in the ways that they feel is needed, and I know it won't be too much.
Exactly.
And I'm okay with that. I have a select people. Y'all just be leaving y'all kids with anybody, but then, oh, y'all don't hit my child. Your child was in here.
Your child bites. Tuma don't hit. I'm a KO your kid if he bite me. I'm not playing with you.
I'm sorry, because I'm taught, oh, you bite me, I'm biting back.
If you old enough to hit, you old enough to get hit back. That's what they say. You want to take it to old generation? That's what the old generation said. So you can't hit me or kick me or do anything. I'm going to turn their ass upside down with the fire escape. So I'm letting you know now. Control y'all kids. Y'all kids be rude as hell.
Especially if you don't want nobody saying nothing to you.
Yeah. And especially if you want me to babysit them. They in my house.
That's the thing. You be having your kids in people's house, but they can't say nothing to your kids. So I'm supposed to let your kids stand on that windowsill?
And if they fall out, then you want to sue me.
Then it's my fault.
Because now your kid got half a body cast.
Oh, but I thought I can't say nothing.
I said, well, he said he was Spider-Man. So I'm going to let him be Spider-Man.
I remember one time I almost lost my little cousin because she didn't listen. We was in Billy B's. And it wasn't my fault. I was like, listen, you either stay with me or you stay with your older sister.
Right.
She went off with her older sister, but then went off and didn't listen to her older sister. So we couldn't find her. When I told...
Scary as hell.
Scary as hell. When I told my aunt, her response was just, oh, well, yeah, she don't really listen to anyone but me. And barely her sister. So why you let her come with me?
Oh, no. No.
After that, I never took her anywhere else.
No.
Because I refused for your child to get lost, and because she didn't listen to me. And then now you're mad at me because I lost her.
Right.
And then it's like, I didn't even lose her. She just ain't listen. She ran off somewhere, and that was that.
Right.
Because I don't hit my cousins.
Right.
They're not my nieces, nephews. They're my cousins. I don't hit my cousins. But I also can't take you nowhere if you don't listen. Especially because I have my own kid. I'm going to pay more attention to him. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm watching all of y'all, but he's the one I'm gonna be watching the most. And if you don't listen, especially she's older than my son. Right. You don't listen to me, I can't take you nowhere. And then if your mother ain't on some, oh well, handle what you gotta do.
Right.
I can't.
That's a problem if your child don't listen to nobody but you.
Yeah. And you don't fix it. You're not correcting it.
So your child has no respect for anyone.
Like, you're not correcting it. Because I'm sorry. Amir do certain things when it comes to adults. I'll be like, yo, that is adult and you're going to be respectful.
Right.
And that's just plain and simple. Because, like, the adults that I have around are allowed to do certain things. So you're going to be respectful.
And when you have a respectful child, to really be honest, a lot of times you don't got to do too much with children. Because Amir don't give me no problem.
Yeah.
I said, sit down. Amir sits down.
Yep. Take a certain tone, he'd be alright.
I never have to hit Amir. Literally, we could be laying on the couch, Amir be sitting on my head.
It's just that simple. Like,
I don't have problems with kids. I take a certain tone, I let them know I love you, I'll play with you, but don't disrespect me. I think only one time I ever had to put my hand on a kid, and it wasn't a kid, it was a teenager. So I had to, let her know.
That's different.
But that's because that was just outright blatant disrespect.
Yeah.
And she got caught stealing, and the police was like, "We gonna take you in." And I was like, "No, she's a black teenager. Hell no." And that's when I was like, "No." That was probably the only time.
Beat you up now.
Yeah, that was the only time I think I put my hands on, like, that was just to show her, like, I'm not playing with you. And if anybody gonna beat you, it's gonna be me. It's not gonna be these police officers. Yep. So
Mia do little love taps. She's not someone who beats kids.
Yeah, I just, because I really don't believe in beating children. And I say that from me, because if you would, and I say that from, like, my grandma used to beat the shit out of me. And I always said, like, if you talk to me, I will listen. Anybody else who had a problem with me growing up, you talk to me if you listen. But if you disrespect me, I'm letting you know I'm going to be spiteful. And I was a spiteful ass child. You did anything to me, I'm going to do it back to you 10 times more.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. Like, you're not talking to me. You're not telling me why this is wrong or whatever the case may be. But you're going to beat me for something. That doesn't make any sense. My mother did not believe in beatings. My mother hit me one time in my entire life. And she cried with me. I always tell that story. And she never hit me again. So I don't believe, she didn't believe in beatings. I don't believe in beatings. I just don't. I feel like it's a last resort. Like, it gotta be a last resort. And I don't believe in beatings. I believe in taps. Like, I just feel like beating your kids with extension cords and canes or whatever you can find is expensive, bro.
It is.
Like, you beating them out the tub with the extension cords, y'all understand? That's abuse. That's a different level of abuse. That's abuse. And I've been through that. So I'm like, bro, that's not, I would never do that to my kid. Like, I'm not gonna, you just got out of a hot tub and I'm gonna beat you with an extension cord. Now you got whelps all over your body.
But even, I feel like using anything, that's abuse.
Like, them thick ass leather belts, them shit used to hurt, bro, with the big fucking buckle. Or getting a switch off the tree, that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary. It's just unnecessary. It's unnecessary, bro. It is. And some of y'all hitting y'all kids, it be too much sometimes. Yeah. Like, it be, y'all, a lot of y'all be, like, real heavy-handed. Like, heavy-handed. Come on. And y'all be caving y'all chest in. Like, I number one, I seen somebody punch their kid in their chest and the child lost breath.
And that's not cool. Especially, don't get me wrong. When my son is 17, and that's different, and you playing with me, I am going to put you in the chest.
10 years old. He was 10 years old.
But at 10 and young, like, I'm sorry, there's certain things I'm just not going to do.
You just don't do. Y'all, sometimes y'all just got to use y'all words.
If I am mad, like, to the point where, like,
I need to take your head off,
I don't even hit my child.
No.
I'll dead leave him alone.
Yeah.
Dead walk away, because I'm like, I'm too mad, and I'm heavy-handed, and I've always been heavy-handed. So that's why I don't hit him with belts and stuff, because I'm like, my hand does justice.
Because I'm in jail.
Right.
I'm angry and I hit you with something, I'm going to be in jail.
I got this. But when I am mad, I don't even hit him with my hand, because I'm like, I don't know where my strength is at right now.
Especially he's little.
Yeah. So I just walk away. Right. It's okay to just walk away. Be upset.
It's okay.
Kids are sensitive. I can tell my child I am disappointed in you, and he is going to start crying and understand what I'm saying.
Yes. Y'all don't give y'all kids enough credit, and that be also the problem too. Like, y'all feel like, they not gonna understand. Sometimes they do understand. A lot of kids are wise for their age. Yep. I was one of them. I understood things very young. At like age 11, I was cutting family members off. Like, what do you know about cutting people? My piece.
Yep.
At 11, and people did not like it. I did not care. I don't care. If you're gonna put me on the street, put me on the street. I will cut all of y'all off if it's for my peace. Period. But y'all don't give children the time. Like, y'all don't give them, sit down and have a conversation with them. All right, you did this. The reason that you should not do this is because of A, B, and C. And now because of A, things can happen within A. Things
and that's how you teach kids.
And then that's how you teach them.
So y'all not even teaching y'all kids certain things that they should know.
Y'all just beating them and saying don't do that. Cause you said so. Who the hell are you? And then y'all not leading by example on top of that. Y'all don't be leading by example. So you telling me not to do something, but you doing it.
And then so now I'm looking at you like, but why can't I do it?
Yeah,
like,
who you? Why can't I do it? You telling me not to hang out all night, but you hanging out all night. You bringing all kind of people up in here. So why can't I do it? You had a toxic love for 30 years. and gonna tell me, oh, don't do it. But you never left him, so why should I not engage in that?
That's how kids learn by watching things. That's why a lot of, and I hate to say it, a lot of girls be in domestic
relationships
because they watch their mothers go through it and
or
not
they see their fathers doing it, and then you never correct the behavior, so they just be like, that's clearly what love is, because she dealt with it for that long.
Right.
He did that to her for that long. So
y'all ain't teaching y'all kids, and y'all don't want nobody else to do it either.
Right. Like, the nerve.
Don't want nobody else to do it either. And it's just like, okay, so you just want this to continue.
Right. Like, you think I don't have any advice just because I don't have kids, so I don't have life experiences?
Because that's what raising kids are. They're just life experiences.
Like, you got the handbook because you're a mother? You got the handbook, you know all the answers.
And not every mother is a good mother.
Hello, it's a lot of deadbeat mothers out here. A lot of y'all be deadbeat mothers with y'all kids. I'm just saying. And
always dropping your kids off to go do something.
I'm just saying. Just because they live with you don't mean you a good mother. Alright? Tell me your child favorite color. What's your child favorite cartoon? Mm-hmm. What's your child grades?
Yep.
What's the most traumatizing thing your child ever faced? Who was your child's enemy?
Mm-hmm.
Who's your child's best friend? Oh, you don't know.
All those things.
You don't know, right? Yeah. Did you know that your child is allergic to chocolate? That's probably why he keeps getting those pimples every time you give him a Hershey bar. Yeah. Ew, you didn't pay attention.
No.
Yeah, but the person who's looking at your child outside with no kids, oh my goodness, he keeps etching his story, doing all this shit while he's eating chocolate. Mm-hmm. Oh, now he's just being annoying because he wants another piece. No, I think his throat might be closing.
Right, like, it's simple. It doesn't matter if you have a child or not. Life experiences teach you things. I knew I was able to be a mom before I was a mom.
Exactly.
That's just plain and simple. I knew I can raise a kid before actually having one. So you cannot sit up here and tell me that because I didn't have one before, I couldn't tell someone who had a kid something. Why not? I sat here and I watched my aunts raise my cousins. Right. I sat here and I experienced things. Right. I knew I was able to raise a kid before I even had one. Most people do. Right. Most women have mother instincts.
Exactly.
So
even those who don't have children.
Right. Even those who don't have children. Both my best friends don't have kids, but they all have experience with kids. She raised kids since they came out. My other one, she has she's a teaching assistant. She worked at a daycare. Bro. They both don't have kids, but they have the experiences. And I go to them when I need advice sometimes. Because sometimes I don't always have the answers.
Right. You learn as you grow. You learn as you go. That's the whole thing with parenting, though. That's the whole thing with parenting. You learn as you go. With the first kid, you're usually extra careful. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. By that second kid... You probably holding a bottle with your toes with the other baby in your arm, like, all right.
Shit, let me tell you,
rocking the damn thing, like, all right. Mm-hmm.
With the first one, I was so like, because I was like, I got this.
Right.
With the first one, I forgot. It was leaving him in the swing and me like just going to do stuff. He was a newborn. As we know, newborns don't do nothing.
Right.
I would leave him in the swing, and I would probably even go to sleep. Or I would put him in his crib.
Quiet, baby.
Right. Put him in his crib and I'll go to sleep. I remember I was talking to someone and he was like, nah, I can't do that. And I'm like, why not? They can't go nowhere. Like, they're not doing nothing. And it was like, nah, but she's up. And it's like, she gonna be up just looking. Like, put something on the TV and take your ass to sleep. Bro. A newborn can't do nothing. If she's quiet, she's not crying, you know she don't need a diaper change. You know she don't need to be fed. If you don't lay your ass down and get some rest.
Bro, with the first kid, I was so, like, paranoid about everything. Like, I used to be in a fucking bassinet with her ass. And that shit, man, you move, I'm gonna know. But that second one?
And I wasn't.
That second one? I was a young teen. That's like, all right.
Right.
That's bath time for both of y'all in here. Let's get it. By the 4th, 5th, oh baby, you couldn't tell me nothing. By the time I had Elijah, it was over. It was over. Like, he was always on my hand. I was in the kitchen cooking, frying up the chicken. Homework, take your homework out. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, I gotta go pick up this one for after school. Da-da. Bruh. Mm-hmm.
different experiences. So you can't tell one person because they don't have kids that they can't tell someone something. Their experience is different from mine. She don't have a kid, but I will always go to her for advice because they know different things that I don't know. My other friend, she's good with kids. She dealt with kids in school. My kid have a problem when it comes to school. I go to her for advice. Why? Because she can help me.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure my other friend who has a kid cannot help me.
Right. Right.
I can bet money they cannot help me with certain problems that my child is helping that my other two friends can't help me with.
Mm-hmm. Seriously.
Because even though you have a kid, your child is not my child.
Right. And how you feel and your biases might contribute to what you know.
The advice that you would give.
Right.
Versus you just being open because you're just like, oh, I'm a mom, I could give this advice. No, I was able to give advice before I was a mom. Like I said.
Exactly. And
so
just like many of y'all was giving advice before you became a parent.
Because I already knew. Anyone can tell you when my son was born, I was fully prepared.
Bro, y'all be killing me. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all really be killing me because I'm like, bro.
They make it seem as if this don't come natural for most women.
Yes, like
we are made to have kids. Yes, some women don't have that motherly instinct, but most of us do. We are made to have kids. That is what we are created for.
Bro. So, listen, just take advice. Everybody's not telling you how to parent. Y'all
They're just
so
telling
defensive.
you different ways to parent, which is okay.
Y'all just be so defensive. Like, bro, I'm gonna let you know now, I don't want your kid. I don't want your kid. I like to have my space. Mm-hmm. Literally, the reason why I don't have one because I know I am definitely responsible for this little human. Mm-hmm. I can't go run off to Thailand tomorrow because I feel like it if I have a fucking kid. I cannot do that. It's a peace of mind. If my child don't come out as an introvert like me, what if I get an extrovert that always want to talk and be up under me? I'm gonna be in trouble. So that's why I do not have kids. However,
that's a fact. Because she could push me to the side.
Right, like I go in isolation for days. I cannot do that if I have a kid.
At all. A kid. Can you imagine a kid like Amir?
Bro. If I don't have a child like me, I am in trouble. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be a severe. My mother locked up, and I tell her that she locked up.
Yeah.
I didn't require much attention. Feed me, buy me little clothes. But I know because God is a spiteful God. He's gonna give me a little talkative munchkin. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be right under my left butt cheek.
And bounce everywhere,
and touch my glass table, and I can't have no white couch. I don't want to deal with it. However, that does not make me less qualified to give you some pointers if I feel like, hey, because sometimes you talk from a burnout stage.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's all right. Parents are allowed to be burned out, but don't take it out on your kids.
And it don't make you a bad mother. It don't make you. It just, hey, the way you reacting in this situation isn't healthy for your child.
Yeah, and that's okay to hear that. Fathers, sometimes y'all gotta let your sons be emotional sometimes.
Yes.
Because then when they get to us,
men don't cry.
Now I'm asking you, what's wrong with you? Why are you shutting down? Mm-hmm. You going through something? Huh?
That whole men
we
don't
can't
cry.
both be toxic.
Do not tell. I hate when people tell me
don't tell my kid not to cry. My kid gonna cry. Now you can tell my kid relax. Calm down.
Now if you
don't hype yourself up, hyperventilate.
If you crying for no reason, I'll be like, yo, you crying for nothing.
Use your words. I do that with my clients when they start crying. Use your words. My clients who I have to do behavioral cognitive therapy, use your words. Why you crying? Why you hyperventilating? Use your words. Process the words in your head and then let me know what you're feeling. It's the same that goes for the kids.
Literally. It's that simple.
Dude.
It's same way you would ask me as an adult if I'm crying, what happened? Why can't you ask a child what happened?
What happened? What happened?
Because it's that simple.
And they'll just tell you like, oh, well, you hurt my feelings. They have feelings.
As parents, we know.
Because I'm quick to tell them you hurt my feelings.
Right, but the thing is that as parents, we know. Because if I hurt Amir's feelings, I'd be like, why you crying? I hurt your feelings. And he'd be like, yes. And when I'm coming, hug me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, same way you ask me a question as an adult, it's the same way. Ask a kid.
Right.
But y'all feel like y'all don't have to because they're a kid.
And apologize to your kids.
Yeah, please.
And I'm going to tell you something. Let me tell you a secret. Come closer. You are not always right. Did you know that? You're not always right.
Seriously.
Your kids can teach you too.
There's so many times where I was wrong. And I apologize to my 7-year-old. Because I felt like that's just human decency. You apologize when you're wrong. Fuck being a kid. If I do something to her, I'm gonna apologize.
And vice versa.
So why can't we do that with our kids? Because they're our kids? That makes no sense. You'll see how different that relationship between you and your child will be if you just take certain steps and apologize to your kids. Like I said, when I say sorry, my kid still wants me. My kid don't need space from me. He be like, I want a hug. Can we cuddle a little bit? Why? Because it's my relationship with my child is healthy.
Exactly.
I make it known who he needs to listen to, who can say something to him, and I make sure that when me and him have a interaction with each other, is a healthy interaction. Yes, I yell sometimes because my child don't listen like any other child.
Right. Well, he's 7, so.
But
in that moment. Right.
Overall, no one can ever tell me that my relationship with my child is unhealthy.
Right.
Because
he knows he can come to us.
Yes.
A lot of us did not feel like we could go to our parents if something was wrong. Some people did not have that option at all. If something was wrong, you could not go to your parents and tell them that something was wrong. So, give your child that opportunity. Give your child that opportunity.
Because you were scared because you was going to get in trouble and stuff like that.
Exactly. My babies don't got to leave out no part of their story.
Yeah, literally. They shouldn't have to.
They'll come to me and they'll be like, oh, I'm feeling. I'm like, okay, what happened? They're like, I get distracted in this class and then I start talking and I start saying, and they literally will tell me exactly what they did and then I'll tell them the steps. All right, so this is what we need to do then. Maybe you need to tutor up. Maybe you need to learn this way. Let's try it this way. Let's do it. I'm not angry with you.
Right.
I don't expect you to be perfect. You're not a machine.
Even with Mir, like, he don't be one that, like, if he did something, he'd be like, no, I don't want to tell you. I'd be like, Mir, I'm not going to be upset. Just tell me. And then even when he tells me, a lot of parents fuck up in these type of situations because when they tell them, you get mad after just telling them that
you're not gonna get mad. Or I'm not gonna beat you, and then you beat them.
No, in those situations with stuff like that, when he's already scared to tell me something, I'd be like, okay, I explain to him why he shouldn't do it and not to do it again, and then hey, I might be like, listen, maybe you can't do this just for a little while. Right. But it's a healthy, maybe you can't just do this. It's not a yelling and now you're showing anger. Right. Nah, you can still discipline and punish your kids without showing anger.
Exactly. You can still show them that there's consequences to their actions without having them feel like they're in jail. Did you know that?
But the crazy thing is that as adults, we know things that we don't like. That's what is so weird. Why do you feel like you can do this to kids?
Because yelling could be a trauma for you, so why would you scream at your child? You know that you stop listening when someone is screaming at you, but you expect that child to continue to listen to you while you scream at them.
Because that's me. Yelling is a trauma for me. I hate to be yelled at. If I ask you to stop and then I tune you out afterwards.
Imagine you then go back and always yell at your child. Now you know once in a while, I can't behind not listen. Come sit down. Right. That's that. You constantly screaming and yelling at your child, and you expect them to listen to you. I wouldn't listen to you. I would not listen to you.
Y'all have to find different ways. Sometimes all I can do is give him a look, and he already knows. He'll be like, all right, I'll stop. Right. I ain't even got to say nothing.
I'm doing too much now. I'm gonna simmer down.
The other day, his father was telling him to do something, and I heard he wasn't listening. I went in there. Because, hey, I'm the authoritative parent. I am. I'm the one who disciplines. My son's father, he's the more chilled one. He wasn't listening to his dad. His dad was talking to him because his dad knows how to handle him, too. He was just speaking to him. Mir wasn't listening. I just went in there and just changed the tone of my voice and was like, you better do it now. Mir went right on and did it. I didn't have to yell at him. I didn't have to hit him. I didn't have to force it. Nope. It was just a tone in my voice that he knew I was not playing with him.
It's not a joke. This moment in time, mommy is not joking.
And it's just that simple. It's that simple. It don't have to be nothing else. If you raise your child the correct way or the way that works for y'all, that isn't damaging to the child, it can be that.
Please stop making y'all kids have to come see me, please.
Right.
I I do, don't get me wrong, I love having a job, right? But I also help people with mental health. So please stop having children that could grow up in happy, healthy homes, end up as adults, and then have to come see me because they cannot cope. They have no coping skills.
Right, it's different if we're just going through life situations and
Right.
we have to go talk to a therapist.
But it should not be though.
It shouldn't be.
Everything stems from my parents.
Yeah.
Really?
That's where it's like, it shouldn't know. Now
Everything?
y'all was wildin'.
Like when you really think about it, oh shit, I didn't have great parents. When you really think about it, ooh, yeah, but maybe.
Maybe my parents wasn't that great. I thought they were.
Yeah, I thought like I was okay, but now that I think about it, yeah, no, they weren't that great.
They didn't listen to you. They weren't interested in trying to listen to you.
Right. Even getting to
When
know
that's
you.
all you needed.
Like,
So,
that's guys.
yeah, basically, mothers, fathers, other people who don't have kids, they can tell you stuff.
Right.
And mothers and fathers, please figure out a way to discipline your kids without it being traumatizing.
Seriously.
That is all for today. I don't think there's anything left to say. We said it all.
It's not.
As y'all know, we here every Thursday. Nia, say your line, girl.
Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, give advice, all that, because we accept criticism, right?
Yes.
And we thank you guys again. We love you. We thank you for the support. And we see y'all Thursday.
Bye. I forgot my